ever feel like being average is just not an option for you? Like being exceptional isn't the goal, it's like the bare minimum. My name is Elyssa Smith. I'm a trauma informed executive coach. And on today's episode of the Unlock Your Blocks podcast, we're going to walk through why exceptionalism and striving for impossible perfection is taking a toll on you and your nervous system. So, growing up in a high expectation household is kind of brutal. So, especially if you were the firstborn child or you were like the responsible hero daughter, whatever you ended up being that caused you to maybe overfunction in childhood. Maybe you were the responsible one, or you were the one that got straight A's, or maybe you were the black sheep, but you watched an older sibling or someone else in your family like work overtime to be perfect, and you were like, I'm not signing up for that. But then as an adult, you end up being an overworker. Listen, it's all lose-lose, okay? However your system survived your childhood is going to cause problems as an adult. But this specific thing, I want to give you so much relief today, because we, without even knowing it, we may be striving for that exceptional place as our norm instead of allowing it to be an exceptional experience to succeed exceptionally. We just say like, hey, that's the minimum. You got to do way better than that. That's expected. So in growing up in a high expectations household, which might not have even been a high performing household, by the way, you might just have had expectations of you. Like there are plenty of abusive households out there who have way too high expectations for the kids, and the kids have to accomplish so much just to stay emotionally or physically safe. God forbid that that was your situation, but it happens frequently that parents put a lot of pressure on children to perform. So if you were held to impossible standards, this is going to be a thing for you. You probably avoided having unsafe scenarios happen, like maybe physical or emotional unsafe situations, by excelling. So, or you knew that in your mind that if you would excel, you could probably be better, do more, work harder, and be in a safer scenario. So whatever your situation was, whether you actually carried through with that impossible workload to get to the exceptional place all the time, and it's never acceptable to do less than exceptionally, well, then you would have learned that, hey, listen, I got to do this in order to be safe. And it's not a great deal for me, but I am going to abandon myself so that I can reach that. So every little bit of self-abandonment that we do in childhood so that we can maintain safety, getting most of our emotional needs met or physical needs for safety, we're going to choose that because your system is a great little survival system, right? Your survival system is designed to look for whatever the threat is. Okay, we're not going to get praised if we don't perform perfectly. We're not going to, maybe there were actual real consequences if you didn't perform perfectly well. So maybe if you didn't wash the dishes well enough, like you didn't get to do something that you really wanted to do. It really just depends on how you grew up. But if the high expectation was the norm in your household, even if there were no other high performers there, you would have received from that information, I got to do well all the time. And that's just the bare minimum. So your mistakes probably were magnified either to you or to your caregivers. Maybe they actually said stuff to you or punished you if you had mistakes. When success is your primary source of validation or safety, it gets ingrained in you that you have to succeed at that high level every time, which, as you can imagine, becomes very exhausting for your system. Your nervous system learned excellence equals safety. So long term, this is going to cause some problems for you. We were meant to operate in our survival mode with adrenaline, cortisol rushing, a respiratory system that speeds up, and your muscles clench, and you're going to fight fleas. Sorry, talking about perfectionism on this podcast. Yes. Your fight, flight, freeze, fawn responses are going to be really attuned. Oh my gosh, I made a mistake. Now I need to be on high alert because something bad is going to happen. When that happens over and over, you stay in that survival mode. You weren't meant to be in that emergency mode for very long at a time. But when you grow up, and it kind of always is there, because there's always the fact that we're flawed humans and you're going to make a mistake sometime, and you're in fear of making a mistake or in fear of performing in an inferior way, and you won't get your needs met. That is an exhausting way to live. And you get to adulthood and you have things like, you can't relax now. After you complete something, you're like, okay, I just did that thing. Now I should be able to, there's some air quotes for you, I should be able to relax. My body is still, but my brain is rushing. That means that your brain is scanning for threats. It's like, did I do well enough? It's that maybe doubting yourself. It's maybe looking for the next thing that you need to accomplish in order to stay safe. So it doesn't allow you to be still as an adult. You might have a fear of like being ordinary, which is obviously subpar for someone who grew up with the expectation that you would always be exceptional. I mean, I grew up with the expectation that I always had to be in the gifted and talented class and I had to be in the top of that class. I had to do like, I mean, I'm telling you, I did some crazy stuff to just kind of make myself stand out, like a double major in college and like a triple minor and all these different things that it's like, some of it was just due to indecisiveness on my part, I think. But I think a lot of it was survival mode. Like, I need to make myself stand out. I need to sound good on paper. I need to do this and be exceptional. And, I need to give my parents a way to talk about me to their friends that impresses everyone. I always need to be impressive. So you might have a fear of being ordinary or normal or not noteworthy or less than perfect more than you fear burnout. That's what usually happens, is that you feel driven, but you're so tightly wound that you end up burning out, but you fear that less than being subpar. And your brain is always thinking, like, it doesn't matter, like, I'm on vacation, I should be able to rest. And then your brain's like, but we can't rest. We need to think about the next thing. And then you might struggle just to get to that ultimate place of feeling fulfilled by even when you build the life you really wanted, or you get to the level of business that you've been gunning for, and you're just like, crickets, like, I got nothing. It doesn't feel good. It's not happy. Why not? And it's because you have been programmed to try to be exceptional all the time, which means there is never a break. There's never a break. There's never room for stopping and enjoying and smelling the roses. So that pressure to be exceptional isn't just ambition, it's actually conditioning of every cell in your body to be absolutely maximizing and perfecting every output that you give. It's not very sustainable. I'm laughing because I'm like, how did we live like this? So if that's where you are, it's okay. Like, it's what got you here. That survival mode is really helpful to little kids everywhere, including who we used to be. But it's not helpful now. Like, it's not going to get us to our next level, because the next level beyond the hustle is the ease, is the spaciousness, the capacity-based goals. It's the space where you know how to nuance everything that you're doing in a way that your soul is experiencing it well and your body is experiencing it well. That hustle, that need to be exceptional all the time, it's also based on some outside perspective. Like, who's saying what's exceptional? Maybe the definition that's in your head isn't what someone else would think is exceptional. And you're just constantly chasing something that's empty, and it's going to quietly erode all your joy and your connection in your relationships. If you're a parent, it will erode your parenting. If you are a partner to someone, it will erode your partnership. It will erode your friendships. It will erode your relationships with other friends and family members. This is something that if you are constantly evaluating yourself by some ambiguous, exceptionalist perspective of what you should be accomplishing and who you should be and how you can never be normal, or you always just have to be the best, this will cause a huge tumult inside of your nervous system, and you won't ever actually feel at ease. And you might even start blowing up your relationships or your business or your job, because internally your system says, I don't want to do this anymore. I want to function from a place of rest. I want to function from ease. I want other people to help. I want to share this burden. I want to be okay with what comes out rather than being obsessed with perfection. Fulfillment will come when you communicate to your nervous system that you're finally safe and you're free to be exactly where you are. You don't have to be hypervigilant all the time and always looking for that next success. But until you reprogram your system, you'll feel like you do. So you don't have to do this alone. I want to offer you a free gift, a free resource. If you download my PDF guide, 5 nervous system hacks that you can do at your desk, you can literally start sending the message to your main survival system, your nervous system, that it is safe here, that I will make sure that everything is okay. We will not die if we make a mistake. Okay, you can start sending that programming now. And you can also contact me, reach out to me. We can talk. You can get a free chat with me if you want to start building sustainable success instead of success that's based on the ever-changing goal line. Okay, so I hope you're having such a good day. I hope this has been really helpful. And until next time, take such good care of yourself.